Hi there folks, my name is Dale. I'm going to go through osteo and rheumatoid arthritis for exercise referral. It's a very brief introduction to it, so it gives you an overview. We'll start in this section, part one, on osteoarthritis. So to help us, we'll start by looking at a healthy joint. So that's actually meant to be a bone. And another bone, so obviously there are two bone meat, we call it a joint. There's three different types of joints in the body: immovable, slightly movable, and freely movable, fully mobile joints. And that's the one we're looking at, and that is what we call a synovial joint. So joint at the elbow, joint at the knee. It's in a capsule, synovial capsule. You can change the colour here. And we have a membrane round about that capsule called the synovial membrane. So that's the synovial membrane there. Then at the very end of the bone, we've got cartilage, and that's called articulate cartilage. So let's name these structures here. Bone, same up the top there as well. That is the synovial capsule. Or we'll just leave it as synovial. Yeah, synovial capsule. And the synovial membrane. In here, and that's helped created by the synovial membrane, in here we have got synovial fluid. Not half writing the word synovial down quite a bit. Now this synovial fluid, that helps lubricate the actual joint itself, and it's very thick to start with. As the person gets on with their day and starts warming up and moving about, maybe in a gym environment where they go on a treadmill, or should I say on a bike or whatever it is, that would normally in this healthy joint start becoming a lot more looser and a lot more freer. So start like treacle, then it would more go into like milk idea. So it's flow a lot better, so it lubricates this area. And that would be the healthy joint. Now osteoarthritis here, that's where we've got this articulate cartilage. I'm going to write that down because it's important to put up. Articular cartilage. This articular cartilage, which protects the actual bone ends, becomes degenerated. It starts to break down, and the actual bone itself becomes more exposed with osteoarthritis. There's a degeneration of this articulate cartilage, and then what it does is it causes pain and inflammation in general pain and inflammation at a joint. Causes the joint to be very stiff as well. With osteoarthritis, what can actually cause this? Well, we can get localized wear and tear. Now, what do we mean by localized wear and tear? Well, if you're a fast runner or a marathon runner of any sorts, then what you might find is that you've got it both knees. And that's because you've got wear and tear impact over a period of time, and it's caused a degeneration of this articulate cartilage, and we get osteoarthritis in that area. But if you're a fast bowler at cricket and you're only using one side of your body, or maybe if we can do it in daily tasks, you've worked in a production line and you're doing twisting on one section constantly, one area, you're going to get it in one area, osteoarthritis, so you're more at risk, more likely to get it. So localised wear and tear can bring this on. Age can be another factor as well with osteoarthritis, so when you get over 40, you can be more likely to experience this. It can be caused by the natural aging process, and it can also be caused by possible loss of muscle tone as well, and the muscles become weak. You can get it through repetitive strain injury, so a repetitive problem constantly, and you might see that in the gym, for example, where somebody's using a machine or doing a weight repetitively wrong, and we'll say it's affecting one joint, and that becomes overused to compensate, and that's where we can get osteoarthritis. People in their daily tasks might get it, like I said, from this movement constantly, get it in one area, but you can also get it from lifting shopping up and with one arm constantly, and they can get it, osteoarthritis, from certain areas. Genetics, that's another one. So you tend to find that in families, that if someone has osteoarthritis in the family, somebody else can have it as well, and funnily enough, it can also generally affect the same area. So somebody gets it in the shoulder or gets it in their knee, another family member can get it in the shoulder and knee in that family line. So genetics do play a part, and believe it or not, 60% of females, you're more likely to get osteoarthritis. So 6%, so it's more likely to be women than what it is to be men to experience osteoarthritis. Signs and symptoms. Well, if I can write some of the signs and symptoms up here. So the signs and symptoms. I can actually read that right in there. As I said before, pain and swelling, they're the most common signs of it. Inflammation is another common sign. So the joint can become inflamed. We can also get grating in the bone ends and cracking. So grating. Cracking, we also call that crepitus. We can get weakness and muscle wasting. What else can we get? We can get stiffness in the joint, and this stiffness here is generally caused by inactivity. So first thing in the morning, for example, the person gets up, they might actually have more problems than later on in the day. So stiffness. And that's a few. There is other signs and symptoms of osteoarthritis. I would say one that I haven't put up that I really should put up is limited movement. So limited range of movement is something you might see. So a limited range of movement, ROM. So we'll say the person's got a shoulder problem. They might not be able to lift it this way, but they can lift it that way. It could be the same with the hip, it could be the same with the knee, and so on. They could maybe do, for example, I've seen people with this condition, and conditions similar, but they can maybe do a forward lunge, but they struggle to do a side lunge and a different type of lunge. That is the signs and symptoms of osteoarthritis. The common areas where it affects, well, it affects the hips, it affects the spine, it can affect the actual hands, the fingers, the knees. They're the common sites of osteoarthritis, and as I said before, it can be down what we call unilateral, so it can be down at the same side of the actual body. And that is osteoarthritis. That's what we need to know for this session.